welcome back, welcome back. In this particular session, since we have completed all the plant issues in the last two sessions, and I really hope that you're revising because this chapter is like really big. But I promise you, it's very scoring, it's very easy. The only thing that you have to do is to revise it time and again. All right. Okay, so one thing about this particular chapter is that we'll have everything which is connected to the human body in this topic. So it'll be easier to learn. Okay. Otherwise, don't you worry, teacher who's teaching you at that particular moment. Okay. And I hope everything solves out. Okay. So starting with this particular topic, we'll be covering different kind of epithelial tissues in the animal tissue. But for this to understand, like for this to be understood by you, we need to know how many type of animal tissues are there, or what are the different kind of animal tissues which are present in the human body. Okay. Or the animal body, duh. Okay, so first is the epithelial tissue. Second, my dear friends, is the muscular tissue. Okay, third is the connective tissue. Fourth is the nervous tissue. Now see, according to the functions of these particular, like according to the functions, animal tissues are divided in the four major categories or the classes. Okay, and all these four classes, they serve major purposeful functions into a body so that a body can can properly work in a synchronized manner, okay, or in a rhythmic manner, or according to a will in some cases. Okay, now see, epithelial tissues, these basically are present on the see these basically are present onto the lining of the free surface, right? And these serve as the functions of protection or secretion or excretion, and they form different kind of receptors. Okay, now remember, in the 8th standard you did learn about the endocrine system in the chapter adolescence. Okay, so there you must have learned about how hormones, they act upon to the different target organs which are present in a body, right? So the certain receptors which are present onto those target organs could be the epithelial tissues, since the epithelial tissues are present over the surface, free surface, or the exposed surface, or to the outer surface of the several other tissues. Okay, and since these are present and making a covering, these are also called as the lining tissue. Lining tissue. Okay, now see, could be present on the external surfaces, internal cavities, such as the digestive cavity, right? What do we have? Our stomach is like a bag. Our intestine is also like a hollow tube in which we basically eat, and everything kind of, goes into a cavity-like system, which is also covered from the epithelial tissue on the inside as well as the outside. Okay, and different kind of organs of the animal body. Next thing that we have at hand is the muscular tissues. Muscular tissues are used for making the movements of a body and the internal organs and external organs. Okay, and they enable the movement by contraction and relaxation of the muscle fibers. Okay, the most important thing that you need to understand in the muscular tissue is that it is of three different types, and they could be under our control, that is voluntary muscles. They could be out of our control, that is the involuntary muscles. You have already read about it in the 6th standard in the chapter body movements. If not, you have to revise it. Okay, anyway, we'll be covering a lot more of this in the upcoming sessions. Moving to the connective tissue. Connective tissue, as the name suggests, it connects, right? Easy to learn. It connects and it supports. Then we have the nervous tissue. Nervous tissue is like one of my favorites. Why? Because it's like super easy to learn. Okay, so nervous tissue helps in the transmission of different signals or impulses throughout the body, controlling our central nervous system and other different kind of nervous systems, which we'll be learning more about in the higher classes. And thus they help in coordinating the body movements. Okay, they basically help. For example, I'm speaking right now. Okay, so whatever signals are given by me, given by my brain, they are reaching towards my mouth and my tongue, and that is why I'm speaking, right? So that is one example. So I'm going to write that down here for you. The muscular tissues, They help in the movement of body and internal organs. Internal organs. Okay. Then we have the connective tissue. Connective tissue support and connect. Support and connect. How does it support though? It supports because we have the skeletal system under this particular major category. Okay, so skeletal system is the one which has all the bones and it is helping in our body structure to stand upright and do different functions. And we have the connective tissues such as the cartilages or tendons and ligaments, which we'll be learning more into the upcoming session, so don't you worry and stay tuned in. And then we have the nervous tissue. So the nervous tissues are the one which basically help in transmitting the signals and coordinate the body movements, the movements of the body, right? So that is one thing. Now see, let's start with the really easiest part of this entire chapter, and the upcoming parts are also easy, so don't you worry about that. Okay, starting with the simple squamous epithelial tissue. Simple squamous epithelial tissue are the surfaces which may appear flat to you or may have a sheet-like appearance, a paper sheet-like appearance, and these basically are found at the places which require the protection. Okay, and they of which requires the protection or which requires a little permeability. What is permeability? Permeability is the phenomena of a cell membrane for allowing the entry and exit of certain molecules according to the requirement of the particular organ. Okay, see, these basically have the sheet-like appearance or the flat appearance. Okay, so have flat surface or a sheet-like appearance. Now, important thing about these squamous epithelial tissues are, bacha, they do not have any intercellular spaces at all, are tightly packed or firmly attached with each other. Okay, firmly attached with each other. Now see, most important part of any epithelial tissue that will be coming across is that these epithelial tissues basically are situated or based on a basement membrane, which is made up of different type of fibers and cells present in the body, and that forms like the solid structure onto which the entire epithelial system is based. Okay, and underneath the basement membrane we have the connective tissue which helps in the connection of all our internal organs together, and that is why the internal organs are held onto their places and not making a goop falling down into the abdominal cavity of the body, right? For example, my lungs are supposed to stay here, my stomach is supposed to stay here, my diaphragm is supposed to stay here, and it is staying here with the help of the connective tissue and the basement membrane. Okay, it is not falling down all and just kind of segregating over here near my stomach point, right? So that is one thing. So we have this gray structure that you're seeing right here. This is called as the basement membrane, right? So that is one thing. And underneath this basement membrane will have the connective tissue. Connective tissue. That is about the structure. Okay, now back to the functions. Since these are firmly attached and since they have the selectively permeable surface, selectively permeable surface means is going to is going to allow the entry and exit of the particles or the molecules according to the requirement of the cell, right? And these are simple flat, as I already told you, and these basically are named as the simple squamous epithelium according to the structure that they have, right? Now see, these are present these are present at the alveoli of the lungs and lining of blood vessels, lining of blood vessels, and these are also present at the lining of Bowman's capsule. Bowman's capsule. I'll tell you what this is. Do not be frantic. And the nephron, or let's say loop of Henle. Loop of Henle. Now, see, listen to me very, very carefully because this is an important part, okay? You see, alveoli in the 7th standard, you must have learned about the different systems which are present inside the human body, the respiratory system, digestive system, etc., etc. So there you must have learned about how lungs, they basically are filled with a balloon-like structure, small balloon-like structures, which are aggregating in the form of a grape, see, like this. The lungs will be having a trachea, that is the windpipe, which will be bifurcated into the bronchi, okay, and then lungs are present, and inside the lungs will have this small structure, okay, the grape-like structure you can call it, and these small circles that you see, these are called as the alveoli, and these alveoli have the squamous epithelium into their membrane. Since they are firmly packed and they require a selectively permeable membrane in order to let the molecules pass across it, okay? So that is one thing. And similarly, these are present in the blood vessels, lining of the blood vessels, such as the capillaries or several other blood vessels. Why? Because those blood vessels go and interact with the singular cells of the body or the internal organs of the body, where the exchange of certain materials in the gases is required in order to let the molecules pass across it, okay? So that is one thing. And then we have the blood vessels, which are present in the right. I hope everybody understood that part. And back to the topic. Next thing that we have is the Bowman's capsule and the loop of Henle. Bowman's capsule and loop of Henle are basically the part of our excretory system or the urinary system. These are present in the kidney and they help in the filtration of the blood. Now, see, again, we came back to this particular topic, selectively permeable surface. This selectively permeable surface is required for the filtration of urea and waste materials out of the blood, which is done in the kidney into the structures such as the Bowman's capsule and the loop of Henle. And that concludes your squamous epithelium. Apart from that, we have the columnar epithelium. Columnar epithelium, which is next, I guess. Oh no, we have the cuboidal. Well, you know what? We'll come back to the cuboidal. We'll have the columnar epithelium first because this is my favorite. Okay. Why is it my favorite? You'll see. See, columnar epithelium, these are like tall epithelial cells, okay? As mentioned right here, these are the tall epithelial cells, and these have a subcentric nucleus, and that subcentric nucleus is the one which gives them the pseudo appearance of the multiple layered cells, okay? Pseudo appearance as in the false appearance. So what you'll see right here, if we come back to this particular diagram, what you see is a complete cell, okay? And this one is one complete cell. Similarly, same right here and right here, okay? All of these will be like one complete cells in different wavy manners, but they will have a subcentric nucleus. What is a subcentric nucleus? It is a nucleus which is situated a little farther away from the center, right? So that is one thing, and these are being arranged in a like tall subcentric nucleus, subcentric nucleus, okay? Now, these columnar epithelium, these basically do not have any other function as the absorption, storage, and secretion. Okay, their major functions are absorption, as mentioned right here, and secretion. And one more that I just told you is the storage. So I'll mention all the functions right here. We have the storage, we'll have the absorption. Note this down with me quickly. And we have the secretion. Okay. Now see, the most important part about the columnar epithelium is that these are present in the lining of the small intestine, and they help in the absorption of a lot of digested food. Okay. Apart from that, these are also present in the lining of the stomach, and in the lining of the stomach, they help in the protection of our stomach by secretion of a substance which is called as the mucus. Okay, and that mucus substance is highly basic in nature. Okay, not basic basic, but basic as in acid base. Okay, so they are present. Remember that and the stomach. So here it helps in the absorption, and here it helps in the secretion. Secretion of what? Mucus. And what does the mucus do? Mucus protects our stomach from Okay, I hope that much is clear to everybody. So that is one thing. Next, that is like the epithelial. But you know what it actually is? All you need to do is revise a bit and it'll be easy peasy lemon squeezy. I promise you that. And it's very scoring chapter. Okay. So yeah, coming to the animal tissues, the cuboidal epithelium. Cuboidal epithelium, we have cube-shaped cells. That is why the name cuboidal epithelium. We have cube-shaped cells. That is why the name cuboidal epithelium. Okay, cube-shaped cells and cuboidal epithelium. Now, what you see here is that these basically have the function of secretion and protection. Only in the certain cases they also provide the support. In certain cases, not all the cases. Function that they have is okay. They have a simple structure. They'll have a centered nucleus like present in the center, and they'll be present on the lining of different glands of the body. Glands are the organs which produce digestive juices, etc., etc. Right? And we have so what we have here is that these are basically arranged on the salivary glands. Okay, these are arranged on the lining of the kidney tubules, and these are also present at the thyroid gland lining. Okay, remember the thyroid gland is present right here. Look at my video. Thyroid gland is present right here in the neck, and it is responsible for the secretion of the thyroxine hormone for the proper growth and development of your body. Okay, so that and this is the lining. So cuboidal epithelium will be present like this. They'll be present like this. Okay, my drawing is a little nasty, but I think it should be understandable. So these are present like this. And they help in the secretion of different hormones. They help in the protection of the gland. Okay. And they could be present onto the lining of the gland or the lining of the duct of the gland. What is a duct of the gland? Duct of the gland is a pipeline structure, pipe-like structure, which is attached with the duct, which helps in the transporting the secretion onto the outer surface. But the duct of the gland is all is endocrine glands which do not produce the hormone but only sweat or digestive juices or saliva, etc., etc. Whereas only the endocrine glands produce the hormones. What are hormones? Hormones basically are the chemicals which help in bringing about different changes in your body. Okay, the one that we just talked about is the thyroid of your body. Okay, that is one thing. And next that we have at hand is the ciliated epithelium. Okay, see, ciliated epithelium is basically the cuboidal or the columnar epithelium. The only difference that there is that it has cilia, which are like the hair-like growth or hair-like projections or hair-like outgrowths which are present onto the body, and then they help in the movement of substances from one place to the another. Okay, now you see, I'll draw a very simple diagram here for you people. This, and this. Okay, suppose these are the cells. These are the epithelium cells, which we call as the ciliated epithelium, and this is the hair, and this is the normal nucleus. Now notice these also have the subcentric nucleus. Subcentric means which is situated a little away from the center. Okay, try to note down all the things with me. Okay, right, so we have the cilia, right, so we have the cilia, and this is the cell. Okay, similar to this particular diagram that I was talking about. Okay, now this is the epithelium, right? Similar to the particular diagram that is just shown here. Okay, now that is one thing. Apart from that, important thing about the ciliated epithelium is that they have the hair-like projections, which is one thing. Like second thing, you see these are present on the outer surface of the cell. Okay, and they are found in the ducts of these basically are found in the sperm duct. Okay, sperm duct is a tube which is responsible for transporting the sperm from the testes to the penis. Okay, and then they're present in the trachea, which is the windpipe. I'll draw the diagram to make you understand properly. These are present in the bronchi. Remember, trachea bifurcating into the bronchi and then bronchioles and then spreading throughout the lungs, and kidney tubules present for the sake of secretion of urine outside the body. Fallopian tube are present in the female reproductive system, and they help in the transport of egg from ovary to the uterus. Okay, I'll draw this one if don't worry about it. Okay, so the main function which is right here. Okay, we have the cilia will okay, and from the moment of the cilia the okay, okay. I'm so scared of cilia. It's like, moving like this. This is the cuboidal cell, and this is the cilia, and cilia is just literally moving like this. Okay. So cilia is moving like this, and with the help of the cilia, different molecules are being transported from one place to the another, and it also helps in the filtration. I'll show you how. Okay. Suppose we have this is the windpipe that I was talking about. Okay, this is the trachea. These are okay right here. Now, whatever molecules, whatever dust particles which are not trapped inside our nose and they might go ahead to the tracheal system, the windpipe, it'll be trapped by the this particular cilia right here, and it'll be eliminated from entering into the lungs. That is one thing. Next thing is the female reproductive system. Let's say We are talking about the female reproductive system, and these are the ovaries, right? So this is the fallopian tube, or also called as the oviduct for that matter, and it is attached to what? Ovary. Okay, now this is the cervix, this is the vagina, okay, and this is the uterus right here. Now what will happen, we will have the egg produced here, and the cilia is present right here into the ciliated epithelium cells, onto the ciliated epithelium cells, and this egg will be transported from here to here by the ciliated epithelium cells by moving like this. See my video, you'll see. By moving like this, they'll transport the egg from ovary to the uterus. Okay, so that is one thing, and this covers our entire ciliated epithelium. Next on hand that we have is the glandular epithelium, my friends. And glandular epithelium, as the name suggests, it basically helps in the secretion of different components. Okay, now see, these components basically could be present every single where in the body or at different locations based upon their functions and the requirements. Now, since they have the secretory functions, the glandular epithelium has the secretory function. The cells, they could be of multiple shape. These could be cuboidal, these could be columnar, these could be glandular in some cases. Okay, now together, what do? They together come and act as a gland and help in the they help in the secretion of multiple um, components. Okay, so we basically have the cells secreting the mucus. We have the cells which are helping in the exocrine system, the endocrine system, okay, which are a part of different endocrine cells or the exocrine cells, secreting the different secretions such as the sweat or oil or saliva or tears, etc., etc. Or they could be part of the endocrine system, secreting the different kind of hormones that are there. Okay, now see, coming back to this epithelial tissue, the glandular epithelium tissue, these are made up of the cells which cover all the glands of the body. All the glands basically include both the exocrine and the endocrine. Exocrine have secretions, endocrine have hormones. I have repeated this countless times, so you guys try to remember this, okay? And this main function is the secretion of multiple fluids into the ducts or the body. Okay, if it is the exocrine, it will have the duct. If it is an endocrine, it will be secreted into the blood and then moving towards the target organ. And they secrete the hormones, milk, mucus, sweat, wax, saliva, etc., etc. So the one which you have right here, let's say this is a thyroid gland, okay, and this is the duct of the gland. This right here is the duct. Okay, okay, if it has a duct, it won't be thyroid because thyroid is basically the endocrine system. So let's call it the sebaceous gland. Sebaceous are the glands which basically kind of secrete the oils. Okay, whenever you wake up in the morning, have you ever wondered why there's oil around your nose, or underneath your lip, or above your chin, adjust a bit, or right here near the cheeks? So what you see right here are the glandular epithelium. Glandular epithelium. And what will these do? These will pour their secretions into the internal cavity. Okay, so this is the internal cavity into which the secretions will be poured, and where secretions are poured. Right, that is one thing, and that is how the entire glandular epithelium work. Okay, see, this glandular epithelium could also be a part of the exocrine system, could also be a part of the endocrine system, which I think I have repeated multiple times. All of these epithelium tissues, these are really important and easy to learn. What you have to revise is the major functions and the characteristics, that is it. And how can you revise them, how can you memorize them, or how can you keep them into your memory? You basically have to draw the diagrams. More the diagrams you draw, more it will be clear in your head that this particular diagram that I'm drawing drawing is of this particular structure or this particular cell or this particular type of epithelium tissue, and if this epithelium tissue has this structure, it could be present in this location in the body, and if it is present in this location in the body, it could be performing this in that function. Okay, so it's like a flow chart, or it's like basically, a chain which goes on, and it's pretty interesting. And biology is like super interesting. I hope you guys agree to that, and if not, that's okay too. Not everybody has a good taste. I'm kidding, I'm kidding, okay? If it wasn't for the doctors or the engineer, like if it wasn't for the doctors, we won't be living a very disease-free life, or it wasn't for the engineers, or we won't be having all these gadgets, right? So everything's fine and good. Okay, so don't get bored with me. I promise this is the last time I just, kind of leash out. So, right, we'll have a few questions, and these questions are, what are the tissues which are present in the muscle to the bones, transport food in the plants, or that store fat into a body, and connective tissue with the fluid matrix? Okay, now all of these questions may not be connected to the different topics that we did in today's class, but the one which is connected right here is this one. What are the tissues which are present in the lining of a mouth? Okay, all of these particular will be covered or have been covered. For example, transport food in the plants, this basically is the phloem, stores into the fat of a body. This will be this will be coming under the connective tissue with the fluid matrix. This also will be covered in the fluid, which will be covered in the next chapter, like sorry, next session. And the one which connects bones to the muscles, remember when I told you about the tendons and ligaments? Okay, now, not taking much of your time, I'm going to give you the answers. Squamous epithelium tissue is the one which is present in the epithelium, which basically is present in the mouth, epithelium lining of our mouth. And tendon is the one which is connecting muscles to bones, and ligaments are the ones which connect bone to bone. Note this down. I'll be asking this in the next session, okay? And again, phloem, adipose tissue, and the blood, okay? Don't you worry about it. It's a very easy chapter. Trust on me and your teacher. Keep on revising, and I'll see you in the next sessions. And thank you. Keep learning from Ask IITians. You guys take care. Bye bye. I'll see you in the next session. See ya.